Just so you guys know and understand, I do keep this slide on every single time, so if new people come into the class, they do know how it works. That's why every single lecture starts with this slide. So today's objective. The objective. The student will be able to solve word problems. This will be done through a presentation and classroom activity. Word problems are one of those things that everyone dreads. Oh, word problems. I hate word problems. That's the one thing I hear most about people coming into class is they do not like word problems and long division. People hate long division, but so today we're going to work on word problems. It's not as hard as you think, and I've given you some simple steps to help you through it. But before we start, we need to have vocabulary. There are lots of other vocabulary words other than the vocabulary words I'm going to teach you. There's a few ones that you'll see. For example, we have sum is the answer to a addition problem, difference, the answer to a subtraction problem, product, the answer to a multiplication problem, and quotient, answer to a subtraction problem. So these you'll see pretty often, sum, difference, product, and quotient. So just think of sum, addition, difference, subtraction, product would be multiplication, and quotient would be division. There's some more key terms in there that you're going to find out later, but take a minute, write down these terms so you have them. So when they come up later that you'll remember, oh, this is this, oh, this is this, oh, this is this. Plus you can use your notes in the test, so therefore on the first test will help you guys. As I'm going through these word problems, write down the directions that you see on the right side. So like the first one says read the word problem. This will help you to understand how to do word problems. There's plenty of other ways to do it, but I found out this way works the best. So first we're going to read the word problem. As I read it out loud, please read it in your head. Your boss told you to count the inventory in the back room. He told you to find the difference between the Xboxes and PlayStations left in stock. You counted 523 Xboxes and 247 PlayStations. What should you tell your boss? Now that we read through it, we have to reread through it and pull out the numbers. So I'm going to reread through it, and if you notice I already highlighted the numbers, but when we'll go along you'll notice. Your boss told you to count the inventory in the back room. He told you to find the difference between the Xboxes and PlayStation you have left in stock. You count 523 Xboxes, there's one number, and 247 PlayStations. What should you tell your boss? The other number was 247 PlayStations. It's best when you're doing word problems to have highlighters, colored pencils, crayons, something. So like what I did, you could just highlight those numbers in red. But so we read through it and we found those problems. And a little joke, you guys. Everyone says, Mr. Buthen, do you play video games? Yeah, I'm a PlayStation fan. If you notice, that's why there's less PlayStations, because no one buys Xboxes, because no one likes them. But little joking aside, we highlighted both numbers that we found the problem, so now we can go on to the next step. Step 3, we're going to reread the problem, and then we're going to pull out any key terms. So we're reading it again. If you find these key terms when you're doing it, feel free to color them, highlight them, but sometimes you might have to reread through it again, especially when the word problems get harder. But your boss told you to count the inventory in the back room. He told you to find the difference between the Xboxes and PlayStation left in stock. You counted 523 Xboxes and 247 PlayStations. What should you tell your boss? If you notice, I highlighted difference in green. That's one of those vocabulary words I told you about earlier. Difference means subtraction, so that's going to come up in a minute. But difference is that key term that we're looking for so we can solve this problem. Next, we're supposed to use numbers and add signs to find an answer. So if you notice, I have 523. I wrote 523 because that's the amount of Xboxes we have. So next, we're going to write the amount of PlayStations we have, which is 247. So we have 247 Xboxes. So after this, we need to then go and start adding the signs. As I said earlier, we have difference. Difference means subtraction. So we're going to add a subtraction and equal sign. After we add the subtraction and equal sign, we can subtract. 523 minus 247 equals 276. So we're not done right here, because what is it? Any word problem, what I say is, in a word problem, you have to have a word, because word problems have to have words. So if you notice, I put what because we have to know what it is. What it actually is there's a few different things you can write for this. You can write Xboxes because that's what I wrote because you have 273 Xboxes. That's the difference between Xbox and PlayStations. Something like consoles would be acceptable. You could write you have 273 consoles. You just have to have a correct word. You can't just write a word and call it a day. But you have to have a correct word at the end of that. So that's where people sometimes get messed up, and you're going to find out Mr. Buthen's pretty nice. If you forget the word, he'll probably give you half credit because you still did some work. But some teachers might not give you any credit. They might say, okay, you forgot the word at the end, so therefore it's wrong. But you have to remember, if it's a word problem, some sort of word has to go with it. So we're going to run through this again about how to solve a word problem. First, again, we read the problem. You just received a job working at a farm. Your boss pays you $3 for every watermelon you pick. You're able to pick 23 watermelons today. How much do you make? And I wish I could get $23 for every watermelon I pick because I'd be a millionaire. I'd be picking 300, 400 watermelons a day. But this is just for the problem. So we reread the problem. We go to the next part. The next part tells us to reread the problem and pull out any numbers. So you just received a job working at a farm. Your boss pays you $3. There's one term, a number. There's a 3, that's probably important, for every watermelon you pick. And you were able to pull 23 watermelons. There's another number, 23. So we're going to want to somehow indicate that. How much did you make? So next, we need to reread the problem again and pull out any key terms. So you just received a job working at a farm. Your boss pays you $3 for every watermelon you pick. You were able to pick 23 watermelons. How much did you make today? Well, wait. You said sum, difference, quotient, product. I don't see any of those words in there. Sometimes you have to draw an inference. We don't know what that is. Okay, so let's think. From one of our earlier lectures, we did multiplication. That's repetitive addition, where you're doing it over and over and over. So 3 times 5 would be 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. That's repetitive addition. So we're drawing a conclusion that even though there's no multiplication, this is going to be a multiplication problem. Because if you pull one watermelon, you have $3. If you pull 2 watermelons, you get paid $6. You pull three watermelons, you get paid $9. You pull 4 watermelons, you get paid $12. You pull 5, you get paid $15. That's multiplication. That's repetitive addition. So now that we have our key term, multiplication, we can go on to this next part. Because we know we have $3 for every watermelon we pick. We pick 23 watermelons. Those are 2 key terms. We know it's a multiplication, so we add the multiplication sign. So 3 times 23 will be 69. But what? 69 cucumbers? 69 eggplants? Well, 69, I don't know. What is it? We got to find. It could be anything. So we see the word dollars and we see the word watermelons. Well, what are we going to use? So I said it can be anything, but if he's paying you $3 for every watermelon, he's going to pay you in dollars, so that's what you get. You get $69 at the end of the day. Okay, here's that pause screen that you guys are used to. Remember, when you see this pause screen, if you need to go back and take any notes, like how the steps of solving a word problem, go take them. If not, go on to the next slide. So now we have some problem sheet to solve. There's 9 problems on here. I don't want you spending all night again. Some of you guys really struggle with reading, so it might take you a little bit longer to do these word problems. But spend at least 5-10 minutes doing it. So we'll say more than 5, but less than 15 minutes doing these problems. Do a few. Try to get them right. If you guys get them, or you'll find out if you get them right on the next page. And remember, don't forget the terms. So when I'm done talking, about 3 or 4 seconds after, maybe a little bit more, you're going to see the answers pop up. So good luck on these next few problems. So to recap, we gave you a few different vocabulary words at the beginning. Then after we gave you those vocabulary words, we gave you some steps to solve the problems. Remember vocabulary words: sum, difference, quotient, product. But after that, we gave you a few steps to solve a word problem. Remember, step 1, read the problem. Step 2, reread the problem and pull out any numbers. Step 3, reread the problem again and pull out any key terms. And last, use any numbers and add signs to find the answers. So those all should be in your notes somewhere. Then after that, we kind of worked on some problems. Hopefully you guys got them right. Next, we're going to go over the objective again. The student will be able to solve word problems. This will be done through a classroom activity and presentation. Hope you guys did pretty good this morning. Good luck and see you in class tomorrow.